10-time ARCA champion Frank Kimmel, driver of the Wintron 44 this year, right? Still the 44. Awesome. Frank, do you still feel, the aura of getting to the racetrack each week? Man, you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange. We were just talking about that earlier. Yeah, I still get goose pimples when we walk in the racetrack. It's, what a fun thing it is to do, drive a race car, and to be here and be in a competitive car every week. It's just really exciting to get to do it.
What first attracted you to racing?
My dad started racing in like 1948, so I pretty much grew up at the racetrack, and we worked on the cars and did everything we could for him to race. And then when I got old enough, I started pedaling with it myself.
Who was your first idol in racing?
Probably on the Cup side, back in the day, probably Darrell Walter. I really thought Darrell was a good racer. He's a good spokesperson for the series, and he did a really good job, of course.
Would you rather have raced 20 years ago or 20 years from now?
Well, I think I would have liked to start it when I did, but I was Rookie of the Year in ARCA, and I was, I think, 30 years old or something, and I was pretty old, and I would have liked to have been 20 years old when I got Rookie of the Year. So however that would have worked out, I think it would have been a different deal, because by the time I really got going, I was, and today's world, I was past my prime by the time I won Rookie of the Year.
What is the most hurt that you've ever raced at any point during your career?
Oh, there's been, I've had a couple concussions racing, but I took off the following week, so I would make sure I didn't compound the problem. But these cars are not so bad now, but they used to be really hot and you burn your feet really bad. And I've had third-degree burns on my leg and my foot during a race before. That's never no fun.
Is there one place that you haven't got a chance to race at that you would still love to have that opportunity?
I'd love to go to Bowman Gray one time just to see. I'd like to go see it. I've never even been there. There's so much history there, but I've got to go to a lot of really good racetracks. I'd love to race at Bristol. I've never got to race at Bristol, so maybe one of these days.
Is there anything you're watching on TV right now?
Yeah, I watch. I'm kind of a guru. I like American Idol, and I like The Voice and all that kind of stuff. And the Dance with the Stars is on now, so I really like that too. So I don't know, maybe showing my age now.
Out of all the racing paint schemes of all time in any sort of division, what is your favorite paint scheme or livery?
Oh man, I really like our yellow car we're running now, the Menards car. I think it's a really good looking car. I thought our very first Advanced Auto Parts cars that we had were really good looking cars. I thought the Western Auto car that Darrell Walter had, the 17, was a really good looking car. I thought his Tide car was great looking back in the day. And there's some really good looking cars. It's funny, like cars that look good set still don't necessarily look good on the racetrack, so you kind of have to split the difference.
Out of all the great battles that you've had over your career, is there one that comes to mind as your favorite or the best one?
Probably the biggest rivalry I've ever had in ARCA was definitely Tim Steele. Tim was the guy that come in, had really good race cars, was very well prepared, and a great race car driver. So, if we were able to beat him, we felt like we really would. It was really hard to beat, but we had a great rival. We sure beat some fenders up together.
Defending champion, Frank Kimmel.